Welcome back to Fujitsu Forum TV for the final time today. It's the close of day one, and what a day it's been. If you can spare me 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the 10 interviews that we've delivered today and the 2 keynotes. If you've missed any of the action, the great thing about Fujitsu Forum TV, all the content is there on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. You can go and catch up on it. So let's walk you through what happened. Well, we started today with Martin Smith, and we were talking about the future workplace technology. Consumers are demanding different technology to deliver a better work-life balance. Martin was helping chief officers know the changes that need to be made and incorporated over the coming years. So if that's resonating with your organisation, you've not enabled your staff to be able to work anywhere that they want, access applications that they need at any time in any location, go and check out Martin's interview. Following that, we spoke to the first of our partners. The theme of this year's Fujitsu Forum is co-creation for success. We spoke to Veritas. They were kind enough to walk us through the challenges that CIOs are facing. If you're a CIO, it's clear the challenge that you're facing with balancing not just legislation, but the demands of multiple applications, multiple data points all coming together. Veritas have offered some insight into how your life can be made easier. Go and check out Harold Derb's interview if that's resonating with you. Staying on the trend of partners. Next, we spoke to Citrix in a couple of interviews. We were kind enough to be joined by Chris Fry from Citrix and Masako Takagi. They were joined by Annette Kuhn from Fujitsu. We were looking at the whole landscape of collaboration, security, efficiency, productivity. How do we deliver what the business needs, but doing so in a way that's super secure so the boardroom are happy and content. Well worth a view. Citrix, of course, one of our key sponsors here on Fujitsu Forum TV. We followed that up straight away with another interview with Citrix, but this one was also joined by Nick, who's an analyst from PAC, and Alexandra Homer from Fujitsu. The Martin Smith interview I told you about. Well, these guys had a report that they were releasing downstairs this morning. It was research into consumer behaviour, looking at the societal aspects of behaviour. What do we want? Well, over 300 people surveyed across 500 companies across Europe. Some interesting findings for you. 51% said that a good work-life balance with flexible hours and practices was critically important to them if they were to stay with their employer. Here's the kicker. Only 35% of businesses have been rated adequate or poor with their ability to deliver on those promises, but yet 82% of workers, they all want AI. Now, you may think that was a younger generation coming through. Absolutely not. Demographic agnostic. Everyone recognises the power of AI, particularly within digital assistants. So part of the challenge for business is to figure out how that thinking can be applied and how that innovation can deliver within businesses. Moving on to probably the high point of today. It's not melodramatic to say that the standout moment was the opening keynote with President Tanaka and Duncan Tate, co-creation for success. Of course, as we were tipped last night here on Fujitsu Forum TV by Duncan Tate, there was the Microsoft announcement, the further enhancing of the relationship, the special relationship between Fujitsu and Microsoft and how that's going to be benefiting customers. But the interesting insight coming out of the keynote, despite the need for digitization, despite the need for transformation, putting people at the heart, whether that's business or society, you absolutely must have a human-centric approach to your co-creation strategies. Well worth a view. If you're a chief officer, it's 40 minutes of your time, but these are 2 of the world's leading thought leaders in their space. Go and give it a view. You will not be disappointed. Following on the back of that, we caught up. Cloud has been a theme coming out of Fujitsu Forum. It's really exploded. Mark Phillips and Dixie Irwin from Fujitsu spared us, 10 minutes of their time. They were delving into the societal challenges that cloud can actually help, and some of the challenges around blending hybrid and cloud. If that's resonating with some of what you're talking about in your organizations, go and take a look. Off the back of that, we then went to our next keynote, the collaboration economy. This was Fleur Copping on stage, joined by some of Fujitsu's partners from Intel, NetApp and Microsoft. They were looking at the digital ecosystems, the requirement for it, and how it delivers on co-creation strategies. Again, if you want to understand why 4 of the world's biggest technology companies are working together and deliver an impactful benefit to all of their customers, and why they all agree that this co-creation approach is critical to the future of business, you should go and cast an eye on that. You'll find all the content, of course, across Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Pascal Hebers, financial services. God, this is a changing industry, isn't it? They've made it in the move from kind of the traditional financial services model. They're becoming agile software companies. The demand from consumers has changed. Emerging banks, emerging digital disruptors, get my words out, easy for me to say. They're changing the whole landscape. Some of the more traditional banks are struggling to keep pace with it. There's some really smart insight about where industry's going. There's also, it dovetails nicely with part of what we heard Duncan talk about in his keynote, the ING use case. This is a bank that is living digital transformation success, 0 branches. So if you're concerned about the dwindling branch scenario on your bank proposition, there are tangible examples that show you there is life, thriving success stories. Go and check out both the keynote and Pascal's interview. If understanding the power of Azure Stack resonates with you from a technical standpoint, if you want to know why it's pivotal within the cloud arena, we had 2 lovely gentlemen, Lakshmi Kantham, Alexander Ortho, that walked us through this, a bit of the detail around the special relationship between Fujitsu and Microsoft. Unlocking the power of Azure is something that will resonate with some. Go and check out that interview if so. Jason Daniels, staying on cloud. And yes, I do believe I said in an interview, when 2 clouds come together, it normally means bad weather. But hopefully we're not going to rain on your Fujitsu Forum 2018 parade. I was going to get a pun in somewhere, wasn't I? But Jason Daniels, he delves into the aspect of cloud native. It's a term that gets bandied around a lot, but it's a complicated term. Doesn't need to be. He cleaned that all up for us, brought sense to the scenario, and he actually told us about key challenges that are happening. I really like this interview. There's tangibility to it. Boardrooms are going to like his comments. If you're looking at the challenges around cloud and delivering multiple applications, do go and check out Jason. He's one of the CTOs here at Fujitsu. Internet of Things, buzzword forever and a day. We had some lovely research that Fujitsu have compiled, spoken to us by Dr. Alex Bazin. He helped us understand where we should be using IoT, but more importantly, where we shouldn't. There has been lots of hype, but he has research that shows we've broken beyond it and we're now delivering returns. And returns can be as little as days and weeks. Don't believe me? Go and take a look. I'll prove you wrong. That brought me on to manufacturing. This was a really intriguing one. Manufacturing, an industry pumped billions into the factories of the past, but a lot of that equipment, whilst automated, hasn't been delivering the data we need to drive business intelligence. They've got to pump more billions in, haven't they? Well, how do you balance the P&L? Or do you just accept that investment is needed? Well, there's an interesting point from the guys we spoke to. It's not investment if you're looking at it from a cost perspective, or if you're looking at a cost perspective, you're always going to be saying, well, here's an investment, I need a monetary return. But returns come in various guises. Productivity, efficiency. They actually have 1, 2, maybe 3 examples of where returns are coming. There's a lovely example that Johan Carsten shared with us. Trees, paper, Amazon, go and take a look at it. They're using IoT to actually inform when they should be producing paper versus where they shouldn't. It means that rain is no longer driving the cost of paper up. Well worth a view. Some of Ravi's own points on where the future of manufacturing is going are worth taking a look at. He's hypothesized around the technologies that will be impacting us for the next 3 or 4 years. That's ahead of a lovely automotive interview tomorrow. There's real synergy between manufacturing and automotive, of course. God, there we go. How many was that? 9 interviews today, 2 keynotes. Not a bad day, was it? We do it all again tomorrow We're live from 08:50. If we get an agenda, we'll see if we can get it up on screen for you. There we go. So we open up at 08:50, but the first interview is 9 o'clock. Same format as today. Some of the interviews are vertical specific. Some of them are business specific. All you need to is take a look at the interviews that you think resonate with you. Join us. Mustn't forget about the afternoon keynote. We've got Dr. Joseph Rieger. He is helping us understand that blockchain is not just crypto. There is far more that we can get from blockchain. Join us for that one tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be another cracking day on Fujitsu Forum TV. See you in the morning.